At first glance, BTS's normal music video looks like the aftermath of one very expensive and very chaotic party. We see a beautiful mansion, designer clothing, elegant rooms, cameras, dogs, drinks and 7 extremely famous men moving through the remains of a long night. But underneath all that luxury, the video feels strangely lonely. The mansion is enormous, yet the members often appear isolated. The surroundings are beautiful, yet several images suggest restriction, injury, confusion and emotional distance. And perhaps most importantly, the video is filled with things that resemble freedom, reality and connection, but cannot fully provide them. A swan is separated from open water. A goldfish swims inside a transparent container. An outdoor landscape is reduced to an image on a wall. A circular mirror shows a reflection instead of the person himself. A private bathroom becomes a photographed public spectacle. And 7 individual human beings are eventually reorganized into one polished group portrait. Before we begin, I want to clarify that this breakdown is an interpretation, not an official explanation from BTS or BIGHIT Music. The meanings in this video are based on a combination of different resources, official descriptions of the music video, the published lyrics, BTS interviews, media coverage of the promotional campaign, previous BTS concepts such as Black Swan and We Are Bulletproof, traditional visual symbolism, and theories discussed by ARMY. So, let's talk about why a song called Normal shows us a life that appears anything but normal. According to Spotify's official description of the music video, Normal shows a more personal and vulnerable side of BTS through the contrast between a late-night celebration and the quiet morning afterward. That description gives us the foundation of the story. This is not simply a music video about a wild party. It is about what happens after the party ends, after the guests leave, after the music stops, after the public celebration is finished, and after each member is left alone with whatever he may be feeling. The title, Normal, feels intentionally ironic. Global fame, constant attention and life inside luxury would feel extraordinary to most people. But for BTS, these experiences have repeated for more than a decade. Being watched, pressured and constantly interpreted can become familiar, even when it is neither healthy nor peaceful. In that sense, normal may describe adaptation rather than comfort. It may mean, this is not an ordinary life, but it is the life we have learned to live. And that leads to the central question of the video. What happens when an extraordinary life becomes so familiar that you can no longer remember what ordinary life feels like? The mansion represents success, luxury and everything people associate with reaching the top. But despite its size and beauty, the members often appear isolated inside it. That makes the mansion feel like a gilded cage, a beautiful place that still limits freedom. It protects BTS from the outside world, while also separating them from it. There is plenty of space, but very little privacy. The mansion gives them comfort and security, yet reminds us that luxury does not always mean freedom. One of the first unusual images we encounter is the swan. There does not appear to be an official explanation confirming exactly what it represents. However, traditional symbolism and BTS's previous use of swan imagery give us several possible interpretations. Swans commonly represent beauty, grace, elegance, transformation, purity, and artistic perfection. A swan appears to glide effortlessly across the surface of the water. From a distance, its movement looks calm and natural. But underneath the water, its feet are constantly working. The swan may therefore represent BTS's public image, graceful above the surface, constantly working underneath. But this particular swan is not swimming freely. It has been removed from open water and placed inside a mansion. Visually, the swan suits the house because both are elegant. It looks beautiful enough to become part of the interior design. But naturally, it does not belong there. It cannot swim. It cannot move through its proper environment. It can only remain inside the mansion as something beautiful to be observed. The public admires their beauty, performance and symbolic meaning. But in doing so, it may forget that they are living people rather than decorative objects. The swan looks as though it belongs aesthetically. But emotionally and naturally, it is out of place. BTS may appear perfectly suited to fame because they have reached its highest level. But being successful within an environment does not mean that the environment always feels natural. For ARMY, it is difficult to see swan imagery in a BTS video without thinking about Black Swan. Released during the Map of the Soul 7 era, Black Swan explored an artist's fear of losing the passion that makes art meaningful. The song was associated with the idea of an artist's first death, the moment when the artist is no longer emotionally moved by their art. Media coverage of Black Swan described BTS confronting the fear that music might eventually stop making them feel alive. That creates a possible evolution between the two songs. In Black Swan, the question was, what happens if the music no longer moves us? In Normal, the question may be, what happens when the life created by that music becomes so extraordinary that we lose contact with ordinary reality? In Black Swan, the fear was losing the artist. In Normal, the artist has survived. The music remains. The group remains. But the swan is now standing motionless inside the world created by its success. The earlier fear concerned the death of passion. The newer struggle may concern living inside the enormous consequences of that passion becoming globally successful. Another important detail is the artwork covering the wall. At first, it may appear to be decorative wallpaper, but the image seems to depict an open outdoor landscape. It presents everything the mansion lacks: nature, distance, open space, movement, and freedom. There is no confirmed explanation for the artwork, but the contrast feels deliberate. The mansion represents luxury and protection, while the landscape suggests openness and freedom. Yet it is only an image on a wall, a view of the outside world, not an exit. This may reflect BTS's distance from ordinary life. They can observe freedom and imagine spontaneous experiences, but fame makes them difficult to access. The public may see the mansion as a dream, while BTS may see the landscape as another kind of dream. It gives the appearance of being outside without providing the experience of being outside. It resembles reality, but it is flat, it is silent, and it cannot be entered. The image is a substitute for the real thing. The outdoor scene may represent more than physical freedom. It may represent the freedom to form genuine human connections. RM has discussed distance, loneliness, ordinary life, and the need for authentic connection in different interviews and conversations over the years. I have not identified the exact video the viewer may remember, so I would not claim that was officially explaining this particular wallpaper. However, the larger idea is strongly connected to themes BTS have discussed before. When someone becomes as famous as BTS, a new relationship may never begin from a neutral place. The other person may already know their music, their public personality, their history, their achievements, their reputation, and the version of them presented through years of content. The member may know almost nothing about that person in return. That creates an emotional imbalance. Does someone see Kim Namjoon? Or do they first see RM, the leader of BTS? The freedom they long for may not simply be the ability to walk outside unnoticed. It may be the freedom to be known before being interpreted. The image appears close enough to touch. But if they reached toward it, their hands would meet a wall. That may be one of the most quietly heartbreaking images in the video. Freedom is directly in front of them, but the barrier has been disguised as something beautiful. The artwork does not remove the wall. It only makes the wall easier to look at. The goldfish represents life inside a protected but limited world. It has water and safety, yet remains visible and confined, swimming through the same space repeatedly. But the nearby, Swim, Pendant and Ship model connect this scene directly to the Swim music video. In Swim MV, BTS work together aboard a ship moving across open water. The imagery suggests resilience, direction and continuing forward through uncertainty. Here, however, the ship is motionless inside the mansion, same as the fish that can swim but cannot go anywhere. The pendant may therefore act as a reminder to themselves. Even when this life feels confined or disconnected from reality, they have to keep swimming. ARMY have also interpreted the references as connecting the two videos: Swim as the hopeful image of moving forward, and Normal as the emotional reality of feeling stuck despite constant movement. This remains a fan interpretation rather than an officially confirmed meaning. The goldfish can swim, and the ship was built to travel, but inside the mansion, neither truly moves forward. Jungkook's shower scene is one of the most visually striking moments in the video. Water often represents cleansing, emotional release, rebirth or starting again. But Jungkook does not remove his clothes. He stands beneath the water fully dressed. To me, this creates the image of someone attempting to wash something away without allowing himself to become completely exposed. The clothing may represent protection. It may represent the public identity that remains attached to him. He wants the cleansing effect of the water, but he cannot, or does not want to, remove every layer. There is also a feeling of emotional numbness in the scene. He is not actively fighting the water. He is not moving with urgency. He simply allows it to fall over him. It could represent exhaustion so deep that a person stops trying to solve the situation and simply stands inside it. The scene may also connect to the desire expressed in the song to temporarily switch the public self off. Not to disappear forever, not to reject BTS or fame entirely. Just to experience one moment in which the pressure, noise and emotional stimulation stop. But even inside the shower, he remains dressed. Even in a cleansing space, the public layers remain. V appears physically hurt while surrounded by luxury. That contrast is powerful. The mansion suggests that he has everything. The bruises remind us that having everything does not mean escaping pain. The injuries can be interpreted as a visible representation of wounds that are normally hidden. Criticism, scrutiny, pressure, exhaustion, rumors. This connects strongly with the song's use of the word bulletproof. L's lyric analysis connected the bulletproof reference to BTS's original identity as Bangtan Sonyeondan and to earlier songs in the We Are Bulletproof series. But being bulletproof does not necessarily mean being unharmed. It may simply mean that you survive. The impact still happens. The body may continue standing while carrying the bruises. When BTS debuted, being bulletproof represented resisting criticism, prejudice and society's expectations. More than a decade later, Normal may revisit that idea from a more mature perspective. What if becoming bulletproof requires you to be hit repeatedly? What if the armor protects you but also becomes heavy? These bruises may show the difference between surviving pain and never feeling pain. BTS survived, but survival does not erase the wounds. Jimin's scene is visually beautiful, but emotionally, he does not appear completely comfortable. He seems exposed. Celebrity culture often transforms vulnerability into an aesthetic. Exhaustion can become an editorial image. Loneliness can be framed in a way that people admire. The audience may first notice how beautiful Jimin looks, but perhaps the video is challenging us to look beyond that beauty. Are we seeing Jimin as a person experiencing vulnerability? Or are we consuming the image because that vulnerability has been presented attractively? When every emotion can become content, can a vulnerable moment remain private? Even authenticity can become part of a performance. Even pain can become another photograph. Jin appears unusually composed compared with the disorder around him. The mansion contains exhaustion, confusion and emotional tension. Yet Jin calmly drinks tea. This may symbolize the discipline required to maintain normality while everything underneath feels unstable. You sit down. You hold the cup. You continue the routine. You behave as though everything is fine. For public figures, professionalism often means continuing to smile, communicate and perform even when private life feels complicated. Jin's calm may represent his ability to create order inside chaos. It may also connect with the humor and composure he frequently uses publicly. That does not mean the calm is fake. Calm can be both genuine and protective. Sometimes an ordinary ritual, drinking tea, eating or sitting quietly, is how someone grounds himself after an overwhelming experience. In a video filled with extraordinary circumstances, Jin performs something deeply ordinary. And perhaps that is precisely why the scene matters. A gate is both protection and restriction. It separates the safe interior from the outside world. SUGA climbs rather than simply walking through. That makes escape appear difficult. He is not trapped inside a visibly frightening place. He is inside a luxurious property designed for safety and comfort. The gate may represent the boundary between Min Yoongi, the private person, and SUGA, the public figure. Crossing that boundary is not as easy as opening a door. He has to climb. He has to make an effort. And even on the other side, the world will still recognize him. Where can someone that famous go to stop being famous? Cars usually symbolize movement, direction, independence and control. A person enters a car because they are going somewhere. But is associated with the vehicle without moving forward. He possesses the symbol of mobility, yet remains stationary. That may represent uncertainty about direction. BTS have traveled farther than most artists could imagine. They reached milestones that once appeared impossible. But achievement does not automatically answer the question, What comes next? RM has discussed uncertainty, identity, leadership and BTS's changing direction in interviews over the years. In group interviews surrounding their next chapter, he has also spoken about the pressure of understanding what BTS should now represent. That context makes the stationary car meaningful. RM has often been expected to articulate the group's direction. But what happens when there is no obvious destination? When you have already reached the place everyone called the goal, where do you drive next? The car suggests that movement is possible. But possibility is not the same as clarity. Fountains traditionally symbolize abundance, vitality and continuously flowing energy. But this fountain is dry. Inside a mansion filled with luxury, it looks impressive while no longer serving its natural purpose. That contrast may symbolize emotional depletion. Cars usually symbolize movement, direction, independence and control. A person enters a car because they are going somewhere. But is associated with the vehicle without moving forward. He possesses the symbol of mobility, yet remains stationary. That may represent uncertainty about direction. BTS have traveled farther than most artists could imagine. They reached milestones that once appeared impossible. But achievement does not automatically answer the question, what comes next? RM has discussed uncertainty, identity, leadership and BTS's changing direction in interviews over the years. In group interviews surrounding their next chapter, he has also spoken about the pressure of understanding what BTS should now represent. That context makes the stationary car meaningful. RM has often been expected to articulate the group's direction. But what happens when there is no obvious destination? When you have already reached the place everyone called the goal, where do you drive next? The car suggests that movement is possible. But possibility is not the same as clarity. Fountains traditionally symbolize abundance, vitality and continuously flowing energy. But this fountain is dry. Inside a mansion filled with luxury, it looks impressive while no longer serving its natural purpose. That contrast may symbolize emotional depletion. AIM provides constant stimulation, crowds, music, travel, praise, records, lights, and attention. But stimulation does not always provide emotional nourishment. The dry fountain may represent someone expected to keep giving energy even when his own source needs to be replenished. This feels especially meaningful for J-Hope, whose public identity is closely associated with hope, positivity and energy. He is often seen as someone who brings light to others. But the empty fountain reminds us that even the person who gives energy can eventually feel drained. It may also reflect the pressure to maintain a cheerful public image when the emotional flow underneath has slowed or stopped. The mansion still looks abundant. The fountain still looks beautiful. But there is no water. What appears full from the outside may feel empty within. What was your interpretation of the normal music video? Which member's individual scene affected you most? Share your interpretations in the comments, especially if you noticed another visual reference that I missed. Let's keep the discussion thoughtful and respectful. Thank you for watching, ARMY. And as always, Borahai.